right, myth number 3, you have to be good at building systems. I hear from so many real estate agents that they just don't think they're systems people, right? So the problem is most agents believe that in order to build a leveraged business, you must have experience in building systems. And it's not true, right? You don't have to be a good designer. To be a designer, you have to be a good installer, right? So in Real Estate B School, we have the systems when we help you implement those systems. So you get the systems and you just have to install them. Number 2, tracking is critical. One of the tools in Real Estate B School that you'll get access to is the business tracker. I effectively paid over $10,000 to develop that tool. It tracks ROI for all your marketing pillars, your 90-day cash flow forecast, your agent productivity, your P&L, everything you could possibly want to get visibility into your business, it takes care of for you. Number 3, your database, right? It's a simple but powerful tool that many agents overlook. And we've got a process for building a database properly. Number 4, categories of improvement. Will ultimately, by focusing on a handful of categories of improvement in your personal and professional life, will move the needle, really make a difference for you in those areas. And we're going to hear from Kevin Yoder here in a second in Grand Rapids. He was a solo agent for 10 years, only started a team in 2011, and when we came into contact, really realized that it was on a shaky foundation and weak systems. Implemented in systems including how to set up a database properly, segmenting that database, really working on an organizational strategy. He was headed down a path that was not sustainable and he couldn't pull himself out of. Implemented the business tracker, and really probably the most powerful is his buyer agent recruiting and accountability process. Last year to this year, he says at least a 50% improvement with his foundational systems, and put a lot of focus on not only the professional areas of improvement, but the personal areas of improvement. So let's hear from Kevin Yoder.
But even though we grew, we doubled in volume year after year for 3 years straight. The systems were non-existent, or the ones we had were a complete mess. So that led me to down this road of this year slowing things down and identifying what systems need to be put in place and which ones we had that were faulty, insufficient, and also really never before really tracking my numbers real well. This is not a good place to be for a business that's going to breach $1 million in gross revenue. So we had to make that happen this year, and I needed to align myself with somebody that had done that before, had really great systems, processes, understands from where it is that I'm coming, and has done it. He done it himself in his own business, and that's why we ended up aligning ourselves with Lars, because he's been there, he's been in the trenches.
So what were those systems? What did he notice that you had to start working on right away?
It was everything from our database. Even the way we used, our top producer wasn't the most efficient way. So even our database, the way we were categorizing our clients, not allowing us to segment, so segmenting the database, to tracking, putting in place what's called a business tracker, which allows us to track not only our deals, but our ROI and, buyer agent accountability through tracking, everything. It's all encompassing. So he has put together for the next year, 2015, and for business and personal areas of improvement, and just going through that process and identifying which parts of our life we'd like to make an improvement in, both in the business and then on the flip side in the personal life. Taking the time, slowing down, and doing the exercise, and then getting back to reality here, and then really reviewing that daily. It's made a huge impact, not only my personal life, because you're actually holding yourself accountable through this document and seeing that, and then it kind of comes to fruition because you're reading it every day and you're identifying where you want to improve, and you're making it happen because you're staring at the document that you've told yourself you're going to commit to.